Welcome back. So you've been digging into some material that, well, it tackles some really big, maybe even mind-bending concepts.
Absolutely. We're talking multiple universes, the soul's journey across them, and even some specific predictions for Earth's future.
Yeah, timelines like 2050, and even sooner, maybe 2030 to 32. It's quite specific.
Exactly. And the source material you shared, particularly that YouTube transcript from Speaking Tree with Anant Patel, it gives us a lot to work with.
Right. So our plan for this deep dive is to explore these ideas, the multiverse, soul travel, Earth's potential changes.
And really try to pull out the core insights from the source. The goal is, to make sense of it without getting totally lost in the sheer scale of it all.
Okay, let's jump in. One of the first kind of striking claims in the source is that the entire multiverse right now is a death realm. Much like Earth, that's a heavy start.
It is, yeah. And I think the key is understanding what's meant by death realm. The source seems to suggest that because everything within these universes is subject to cycles of creation and destruction, birth and death, they're inherently temporary.
Impermanent, compared to maybe something else.
Exactly. Compared to an ultimate, unchanging origin. And the scale is just immense. The source says infinite universes, infinite Earths, constantly being made and unmade.
Which translates roughly to...
Every moment, infinite universes are created and destroyed. It echoes sort of scientific ideas about galaxies forming and dying rapidly, maybe even within an hour in cosmic terms. It gives a sense of this constant churn.
Wow, okay, constant churn. And the source mentions a power or maybe an entity behind all this.
Yeah, it does. It suggests there's an intelligence or force responsible for this creation and destruction cycle.
And this ties into the idea of universes having lifespans.
Right, each universe has its cycle, and eventually there's a dissolution. The source mentions Mahashiva overseeing this, essentially destroying or maybe recycling galaxies at the end of their time.
A cosmic rhythm.
Pretty much. A rhythm of coming into being and then dissolving.
And it mentions infinite Mahashivas too, right? Across these infinite universes. It's hard to grasp.
It really is. The scale is almost beyond comprehension. But importantly, the source also stresses that life isn't just here. It's everywhere, in all these infinite universes.
Okay, life everywhere. That leads us to the soul journeys, the Tuakhanav idea.
Exactly. And what's interesting there is the link made to our own human desire to travel, to explore.
Oh, right. You mean it's not just wanderlust.
Well, the source suggests maybe not just that. It proposes that souls have been traveling the multiverse long before physical bodies, and that maybe our innate desire to see new places is like an echo of that deeper soul history.
Huh. A cosmic travel bug. So where do these souls actually come from? The source mentioned different origins, Brahma, Mahashiva, Paramahashiva, affecting their lifespans.
Yeah, it seems to relate to, let's say, the scope or duration of their journey within a given cosmic cycle. Maybe think of it like levels of experience or spiritual maturity.
Okay. So when a universe, or even just a solar system, ends, what happens to the souls there?
They don't just disappear, according to the source. They basically move on. They leave that dissolving space and travel to other universes to continue their journey.
Cosmic migration, then?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And the source talks about Prolia, this big cosmic dissolution.
That sounds pretty intense, like everything gets wiped out.
Well, the lower realms, yes. It's described as a kind of purification or reset. But the source also says that more advanced souls actually ascend. They move to higher realms to survive and continue.
Ah, okay. Not just total annihilation for everyone.
Right. There's an analogy used like a family head ending a lineage if things get too negative. It relates that to Shiva ending universes that have become too imbalanced, maybe.
And the process itself, it mentioned fire, suns.
Yeah, really powerful imagery. The Vashirman fire of time or destruction, the power of 12 suns that being submerged in water then completely dried out. It's a total reset.
Definitely a powerful image. But then the source pivots to something quite hopeful, saying every human will eventually become an Indra. An Indra is like a celestial king figure, right?
Yes, a very significant deity in Hindu cosmology.
Yeah.
It's a huge statement about human potential.
How do we square that with, everyday life and feeling pretty ordinary?
That's the core point, I think. The source is pushing back against seeing ourselves as just lowly beings, maybe stuck in the cycle of the 8.4 million life forms.
Which suggests human birth is special.
Extremely special.
Yeah.
Crucial opportunity for spiritual growth. And the source references teachings like Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, the ultimate reality, and Shivaham, I am Shiva.
So recognize your own divinity, basically. Don't sell yourself short.
Exactly. Despite the mind's tendency towards negativity or limitation, we're inherently divine, is the message.
Okay, so thinking about cycles, many people feel there's some kind of awakening happening on Earth now. Is this unique or just another turn of the wheel according to this source?
More like another turn of the wheel. The source suggests every universe goes through cycles of awakening and also getting caught in Maya, or illusion.
Maya illusion.
Yeah. There's that story about the Rishi, the wise sage, who gave up his intense spiritual practice.
Why? What happened?
He saw some fish mating, and apparently it stirred desires in him, pulling him back into worldly attachment. It shows how even supposedly awakened beings can get pulled back into Maya.
So it's an ongoing thing, not a one-and-done awakening.
Seems that way, yes. Vigilance is needed, but then there's another twist.
Oh.
The source suggests that divine souls, beings in other universes maybe, actually inspire us here. They plant ideas, inventions.
Like the Elon Musk example, his drive to go to Mars.
Exactly. That's used as an example of potentially receiving inspiration from elsewhere. A cosmic download, maybe.
Interesting. And this ties into predictions like Einstein's about Earth having a limited lifespan because of negativity and how we use technology.
Yes, it connects those dots. It suggests there might be external influences or nudges pushing us towards solutions or maybe even escape routes because of the risks we're creating.
Which could lead to the idea of starseeds. Hi, Brat.
Right. Souls who feel fundamentally different, like they don't quite belong here, they might feel this incredibly strong pull towards other places, maybe Mars, maybe somewhere else entirely.
And they'd be willing to give up everything.
Yeah, that willingness to renounce everything for that calling is seen as a sign of their potential non-earthly origin or depth soul memory. It suggests a connection to somewhere else's driving them.
It adds another layer to why people feel the way they do. Okay, let's shift gears slightly to technology. This is where it gets really futuristic.
Yes, the predictions about tech powered by Param Tattva.
What is Param Tattva exactly? The supreme element.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A fundamental divine essence or energy. The source, referencing Bapuji's predictions from maybe 2016, about the 2021-22 timeframe, suggests technology based on this could emerge soon.
And this tech would allow, what? Interstellar travel in seconds? Cars running on water or air?
That's the claim mentioned, yes. It sounds like science fiction, but the source presents it as divinely inspired, a rapid acceleration compared to our past pace of innovation.
So not developed through normal R&D, but more like revealed.
That seems to be the implication. And it even suggests interstellar travel might already be happening, just maybe not publicly known.
Wow, okay. And what about AI? Artificial intelligence. The source links that to divine consciousness too. Comparing ChatGPT to Rishi's.
It's a striking comparison, isn't it? It suggests that perhaps even our most advanced AI is tapping into or mirroring a deeper cosmic intelligence. Like the ancient Rishis accessed profound wisdom, maybe AI is a different way of accessing some form of universal knowledge.
But the purpose is key, right? Not profit.
Absolutely crucial, according to the source. This tech isn't meant for corporate gain. It's for the welfare of the world, maybe preventing our self-destruction and ultimately helping souls return to their origin. That's the stated goal.
This connects to the idea about Mars falling, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The source claims Mars was habitable maybe just 8,000 years ago, but something happened, it became uninhabitable.
And souls from Mars came to Earth? Is that the idea?
That's the suggestion. Souls seeking refuge here, which might explain why some feel that pull to go back, that desire to return and rebuild, even though it seems impossible now.
It provides a potential backstory for that starseed feeling.
It could, yeah. A potential reason for feeling out of place or longing for another world.
So looking forward, beyond 2050, the source predicts powerful divine souls, maybe in a place called Gyanganj.
Yes, Gyanganj, often described as a hidden mystical place in the Himalayas.
Right. Souls there will awaken humanity, purify the atmosphere, bring in this clean, advanced tech.
That's the optimistic vision presented. A future driven by spiritual awakening combined with this beneficial technology.
And it includes that critique about current tech being withheld, like water-powered cars being suppressed for profit.
Yes, that point is made explicitly. It questions whether our current economic systems prevent beneficial technologies from emerging if they threaten existing industries. It asks if profit is put before planetary well-being.
So, for the individual soul caught in all this, what's the path forward? How do you get out of this death realm?
The connection to one's origin is key. The source suggests that innate pull will eventually guide the soul back, possibly aided by this future tech.
But there's a catch, karma.
Yes, resolving karmic accounts is presented as essential before you can ascend or move to higher realms. You have to balance the books, so to speak.
And heavens and hells, they're not permanent stops.
No, described as temporary experiences within a universe's cycle. They are part of the journey, not the final destination. The universes themselves are cyclical.
Okay, now what about Shiva's clocks? That sounds very abstract. Different timescales.
Yeah, it's a complex idea. Think of it perhaps less like literal clocks and more like different vibrational frequencies or dimensions where time flows differently, or cosmic evolution happens at different rates.
So you could potentially move between them.
The concept seems to hint at that possibility, a much more fluid understanding of time and reality than we normally have.
And the source distinguishes between different kinds of aliens or off-world beings.
Yes, positive and negative influences. Negative ones pushing towards destruction, maybe subtly influencing us, while positive ones, divine souls from elsewhere, guide towards peace.
Like Buddha or Mahavira Jain, they brought messages of peace.
They're given as examples of these positive guiding forces, bringing wisdom from potentially higher levels of consciousness.
And this links to the subtle world, the Kirtanu influencing Earth.
Exactly, the idea that there's more going on than we see. Unseen energies, beings, intentions in this subtle realm affecting our physical reality.
The Mahabharata examples, Duryodhana being influenced negatively, Arjuna receiving divine help.
Right, those are used to illustrate how this subtle world interaction might play out, influencing thoughts, actions, even the course of major events.
It just keeps expanding. Galaxies with infinite universes, each with 14 realms or lokas.
The scale is intentionally vast in this teaching. And different creators, Shiva, Mahashiva, Paramahashiva, are said to create different types of universes.
Implying variations, different rules maybe?
Seems so. Variations in laws, characteristics, spiritual levels. So if you want to help beings in other universes, you need to evolve your own consciousness.
Become like Shiva. Develop intention and thought Nate.
Yes. Cultivating that level of focused intention and thought power is presented as necessary to have a positive influence across such vast cosmic distances.
Which is where the Bharat Ki Param Shanti mantra comes in. Precisely. It's offered as a practical tool, a way to actively send out peace, positive energy, good intentions across the entire infinite multiverse. The Bihad, the limitless.
Connecting this to science, the source mentions string theory. How does that fit?
Well, it's presented as a point of resonance. String theory, with its mathematical possibility of multiple dimensions and potentially infinite universes, provides a kind of modern scientific parallel to these ancient cosmological ideas.
And the James Webb Telescope finding countless galaxies.
Yeah, that reinforces the sheer vastness we're talking about. It naturally leads to the question, what intelligence or power governs all this? What makes these galaxies form and move?
Which the source attributes to awakened Shiva-like souls or consciousness.
That seems to be the connection made, yes. A conscious guiding force behind the cosmic structure.
Okay, this brings us back to the core question. Our own origin. If not just Earth, not just this universe, where do we come from, according to this source? This is where the concept of a paid Getic becomes central. It literally means limitless or boundless.
Beyond the multiverse.
Yes. It's described as Adalak, the supreme abode, a realm of infinite kalas.
Kalas. Divine energies or qualities.
Exactly. And the core teaching here is that we, our souls, originated from this behead. We aren't native to these temporary death realms. We're here more like messengers or travelers exploring.
So the different universes with varying levels of these kalas, 100, 200, up in millions, they're all sort of downstream from behead.
That's the picture painted. They're all creations within or subordinate to this ultimate infinite source. And crucially, the source claims we all inherently possess the potential of 100 Kala, the full spectrum of divine energy.
So recognizing that power within ourselves, that's the key.
Yes. Realizing that allows us potentially to help not just ourselves, but the entire multiverse. The goal shifts from just escaping this realm to actually transforming it.
Making it less of a death realm, maybe even before those 2030, 32, or 2050 timelines.
That's the possibility held out. A collective transformation, starting with self-transformation, quite also make TNA. Realizing Shivoham. I am Shiva, I am divine.
And these teachings naturally attract souls connected to Shiva, Mahashiva, Parampara Mahashiva.
That's what the source suggests, yes. A resonance based on the soul's origin or deep connection. The journey through universes is framed almost like education.
Moksha, liberation is like graduation.
Kinda, yeah. But graduation from one school, one universe, it's temporary within the grand scheme. The true home, the permanent place, is Behead.
And this isn't totally unique, right? Other traditions speak of vast creation.
Absolutely. The source mentions figures like Jesus Christ or Kabir, also spoke about the immense scale of creation and a supreme source, suggesting a common thread in deep spiritual insight across cultures.
So the final message seems to be, we are all divine, fundamentally.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone. The difference is just awareness and awakening. And that awakening, when it happens collectively, holds the potential for incredibly rapid, positive change.
Wow. Well, that is certainly a lot to process. The interconnectedness, the sheer scale, the potential for transformation. It really stretches the mind.
It definitely does. It encourages you to think differently about who you are, where you might have come from, and what's possible, both for yourself and the world.
So maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. If our true origin is truly beyond even this vast multiverse, in that limitless Behead, what does that really imply about our ultimate capabilities, our real purpose here?
A powerful question to reflect on. We definitely encourage you to keep exploring these ideas, maybe dive deeper into Behead, Parantattva, and the life and multiverse concepts from the source material.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.